Ronald, what the heck is a Euro game?
This ain't your daddy's Agricola.
Yeah, I mean, the term Euro game has changed over the years. It's like I guess originally it was like the point salad was the Euro game. And now we're getting a mix of Ameritrash elements, which is more of the luck and story stuff that's happening. It's left the Mediterranean. It's gone to space and other various places.
Mm-hmm.
But so I guess what I'm saying is it's kind of a vague term these days, Euro, but we're going to do our best to make a top 10 Euro games.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these you might not agree that they're Euros at all.
Please tell us.
Please tell us. But I think they are Euros. Yeah. Any more to add to that?
I couldn't find a Euro classification on BGG. I think
there isn't
everything's
one.
just so merged together now.
This might be the last top 10 Euros list ever to exist because that term is just disappearing. It's too broad. It's like, I don't know, strange.
Yeah, usually they're not as thematic. They're not as luck-based. They're more strategic.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them have crusty old cubes you're pushing around. But these days, a Euro can be a beautiful production.
Future Jesse here. You're going to see a gap in the middle with an empty seat. Just ignore it for about 8 minutes, then it'll go away. Now back to these guys.
With lots of fancy stuff. In fact, some of those that are on my top 10 games of all time, I removed from this list.
I did that too. We've been doing some top 10s, and I'm not going to put any of my top 10 games from my, I guess it was 2023 at this point. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But like on my top 10 list, you could go watch that in another video. You can watch Ronald's in another video as well. I'm not including those. So basically my criteria is I'm just looking at low luck Euros. So probably may not contain dice in the traditional sense of rolling it. And also something with lots of paths to victory.
Okay.
That's kind of my criteria on the Euros.
I wonder if we're going to have any overlap.
I think we might.
Okay. Well, I have some honorable mentions. Maybe we should start with those.
Go ahead.
Okay. The first honorable mention I have might be on your list. It's the space version of Terra Mystica.
Gaia Project? No.
Okay, well, it is on my list. This is on my honorable mentions. I couldn't not mention it. I like that game a lot, and I like it better than Terra Mystica, in fact, and I don't think anyone would argue that that's not a Euro.
Oh, absolutely not.
But it is in space.
Yeah.
Now, with space clothing.
Yeah, so since we're on the topic of it, is Terra Mystica on your list at all? I mean, you just said you like it more, and that's not.
It's not on my list. It was on my short list. It would be like number 15 or 16.
So, I mean, I'll go ahead and I didn't write this down as honorable mention, but I'll go ahead and honorable mention Terra Mystica because it is worth mentioning. That used to be my number one game of all time, but this was like years and years and years ago.
Okay.
My tastes have changed so much that I didn't even put it on my top 10 Euros.
Okay. Wow.
Pretty wild.
That is interesting.
And I play it a lot. I play various versions of it a lot on Board Game Arena. And the one that I kind of took to that I kind of liked was Terra Nova, which is like the intro version of it.
I don't know that game, so you're going to have to show it to me.
Well, it's just funny. It's like when we were talking about Isle of Cats in another video, I'm like, the drawing one just takes the part I like about Isle of Cats, and Terra Nova takes the parts I like about Terra Mystica and puts it in there, cuts out all the fat.
Okay, cool.
So, and Gaia Project just to me seems like it adds a lot more chunkiness to it.
There's like one part of Gaia Project that every time I play, we just don't use it. No one I play with ever uses it. It's like some kind of, it's got something to do with like a green or a purple planet. I don't remember exactly, but we never use it. We never play it. It's a normal mechanism of the game. We just ignore it. Okay, this is a lot of talk for...
That's okay. We're here to talk.
All right. So my next honorable mention would have to be Dungeon Pets.
Okay.
I own this game. I like this game a lot. It is a puzzle game, but it is a big chunky thing with a lot of things going on. It's a worker placement game. Worker placement is traditionally a Euro mechanism.
Yes.
So yeah, I love the puzzle of it. I love the theme of it. It was one of the earlier thematic Euros.
Yeah.
And then my last one is actually on Board Game Arena. It's Earth.
Wow. Earth didn't get me as much. Like, there's certain people in our game group that where it's like, yeah, they're all about the Earth. And I played it twice in person and then a bunch of times online. And I'm just like, it's fine.
Yeah, that's why it's in my honorable mentions. But I didn't mention it. It's a more modern Euro-style game.
It's won a ton of awards.
Oh, cool.
People really like it.
Didn't know that. But I think it's good. It's not better than these other 10 games I have on here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, I mean, just based on that, I feel like a lot of your choices are way heavier than mine, or maybe way heavier than mine. I only had one honorable mention. It's a kind of a recent one that's gotten my attention. I don't own it, and I don't think I will own it. That's why. Anyway, it's Wormspan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I like it more than Wingspan, but
It's Wormspan a Euro.
I mean, it's low. I mean, the luck is drawing a card, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, you're kind of doing.
I'm not saying it's not.
Okay. It's a 4X game now. Yeah, Wormspan. If you like Wingspan, it's. I guess it would be kind of a heavier version of it. I think it's a more thinky version of it. I like the things I'm doing in that more than I like what I'm doing in Wingspan. But it would not exist without Wingspan. So
Certainly.
and that is Wingspan without any expansions. The comparison, because I do like Wingspan more with a lot of the expansions that have been added. Some games you don't want expansions because it's just fluff, but Wingspan needs them. Anyway, I think we're ready to move on to the top 10 Euro games.
All right. Mine. Number 10. This is a game that I own and almost never get to play. I don't know that there's an online version of it anywhere, maybe on Tabletop Sim. This is Pulsar 2849.
Crossover.
Hey.
It's my number 10.
Hey, a perfect crossover.
Yeah. Pulsar 2849 is on mine. I don't own it, but Joe does. So if I want to play it, I'll just have him bring it over. Yeah, so the reason it's my number 10 and not higher is I don't know why. I mean, it plays like a Feld game does. And you're not going to see any Feld games on this list for either of us.
Yes, we did a whole separate list, top 10 Stefan Feld games.
Yeah.
So you can go watch that. Those would probably be sprinkled, intermixed in here.
It makes it more interesting for us and probably for you that we're not just repeating all the same games over and over again.
We love Feld in this household. So
Yeah, Castles of Burgundy would be, I mean, way up there for me. So, but Pulsar is not one. It's, is it Suchi? Vladimir Suchi?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who designed Pulsar off the top of my head, because usually if I own a game, I know a lot more about it than I would otherwise.
Not me.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so this is a big... This is
Suchi. Vladimir
This is a
Suchi.
dice game. It does have dice in it. So there is a bit of luck involved, but everyone's beholden to the same luck.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot going on.
I'm switching to the wrong shots. So this is my 3-shot. This is what we want, the 2-shot. A little behind the scenes for y'all. This is live switching. I can't edit it out. Yeah. So a lot of people are probably watching this like, why do they keep cutting to an empty seat? That's that whenever Melissa's here, she sits in the desk. But anyway, continue. Oh, that's all you have to say about it? All right. Well, that's your number 10. That's my number 10. So on to number 9 then.
My number 9 is Alchemists.
Alchemists. This one didn't make my list. That one breaks my brain.
Yeah, it's a brain breaker. It's a big deduction game, worker placement as well. Nicely thematic, very thematic, in fact, for a Euro. Big, crunchy puzzle for you to solve. You're collecting ingredients and you're using an app to mix them together and see what you get. And you're doing this deduction game thing with all the ingredients to try to figure out how these ingredients work. I'm very oversimplifying it. But the app is super neat. Love that. And now this game is like it's like 10 years old. And I still like it. I need to completely re-review the rules before playing it each time, but I really like it.
Wow. That one game is probably heavier than any of my games on my list.
It's probably one of the heaviest games I own.
Right.
And there's still parts we don't play with. Like, you can make it heavier.
As far as games that have been around a long time, I wouldn't be surprised if they reprint that one. I think that's a beloved game. The weight of it is only a 3.9. I don't believe that.
I mean, it's not a Vital.
Well, I mean, as far as games go, I guess I do have something that's a bit heavier than that, but that'll come in later. But my number 9 is a lighter game from Inca and Marcus Brand called Village.
Okay. That wasn't even on my short list.
Yeah, this one returned to my list recently because it was on my shelf of culling for a long time. It made it in the box. It went to the sales place, didn't get sold. No one decided to buy it. And I brought it back home. I was like, let's see if I still like it. And I played it. I was like, this is really good. I really like this. And so I'm going to keep it. In fact, I'm thinking they just reprinted it to a big fancy version, the big box version. I'm like,
Was anyone asking for that?
I have no idea, but it looks really nice. And so, I don't know, it's on my radar as far as if it goes on sale or something.
Now, that's just regular Village, not My Village.
Correct. My Village is gone.
Games.
We got rid of that one.
All right.
I don't like My Village as much.
Okay.
I like other people's villages. But that's my number 9, Village, where you live your life all the way till death. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, people keep dying.
I love it.
All right. My number 8 is 5 Tribes.
Oh. Is that a Euro?
Of course, it's a Mancala
Yeah.
thing with hardly any luck. It's very, very strategic and mathy.
Yeah, I mean, it worked for me. That's a 2-player game. At 3 and 4, it's a very different experience. I love it as a 2-player though.
Being a 2-player game means that it's not a Euro.
No. I'm just saying as a game to enjoy.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I have it. I will play it with whoever, but I need someone to refresh me on the rules. I know it's a Mancala and that you're going in a circle and something where you end up, you get a special power. Something. I'm not sure. I tried to play it recently on BGA and
I destroyed everybody.
Like, this is great. This is going super well. And then I didn't remember how to play.
I guess because I did remember how to play. Have you played the expansion?
No.
You don't.
Well, if I did, I don't remember.
It adds a 6th tribe, which really ruins the title. Anyway, yeah, I don't recommend it. Base game, 5 tribes is the way to go for me.
My goodness, you have strong opinions about that game.
Sorry.
All right, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is probably the heaviest game on this list, both yours and mine probably. It's Through the Ages. Definitely a Euro. Or is it? It's not really point salad in a way.
It's a card game.
It's definitely a card game.
With fighting.
Little fighting. You can go that whole game without fighting. It's fine. But anyway, if you like,
play that game that way with me, because every time I play it, someone fights me.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna sit there and not have a defense, then yeah, I guess so. But yeah, Through the Ages, it's a Civ game. If you played Civilization, then you might be interested in a game like Through the Ages. And that's a Vlada Chvátil game, I believe, that also had 2 spots. He didn't make Alchemist. I don't think he did, but he made Dungeon, whatever you said.
Someone else made Alchemist that I've never heard of before.
Matis Kotri made.
Yes.
And made Alchemist.
Someone very smart.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, yeah. Through the Ages, I still really like it. The best way I have to play it is on BGA just because it's easy to get it out. Because at the table, this game has a rule in it that says you can quit at this point. Built into the game.
You can concede.
Yeah. In the rules, though, you can concede in any game you want to, but this one's actually printed out. Here's the point where you concede.
Nice.
If you'd like to.
Okay. Well, I think my number 7 must be on your top 10 list of all time and therefore not in your list because you said you don't have any heavier games.
True.
It's not in my top 10 list, so I guess I'm going to talk about it now. It's Ark Nova.
That's right. It's in my top 10, so I did not put it.
Spoiler.
It's okay.
Yeah, so this is like a zoo game. So dumb. It's a game about making a zoo.
Zoo in the future, the slight future.
And you're collecting
a modern zoo,
animals and enclosures to put them in. And boy, that makes it sound really easy. But in fact, it is very heavy. And there is a lot going on in this game. And it is pure. It's a pure Euro fantasy. It's like moving, pushing cubes. You've got multiple different tracks of different kinds of things you're tracking. This kind of point and that kind of, I don't know, fame. I don't know what the different tracks are called. In fact, tracks all get me confused. There's like an education
it's conservation track. And attraction, I think.
There you go. There's all the different tracks. And you're also doing a little slight worker placement thing over here with these little workers that are really hard to get. There's just a lot going on. But I love it. And it's my number 7.
Yeah. You can see what it ranked on my top 10. Probably posted somewhere on this page.
If you had asked me like a year or two ago, I probably would have put Ark Nova at the top. But then the problem is they put it on Board Game Arena. And as soon as you put a board game on Board Game Arena, I play it like 20 times. And then I realized I don't like it as much as I thought I did. So it bumped down to number 7. But I still like it a lot.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. I play it both in real IRL and Board Game Arena. I played with somebody who really likes it as well. Just 2 players, and we played it at my weekly meetup, which is at a public place called Jason's Deli. And so everyone's like, you're not going to get through Ark Nova in however much time, but we both knew the game really well, so we played in like an hour and 15 minutes, which is not an easy thing to do. I mean, unless you just go through it, and we did. It was a good game. My number 7 is a game I don't own, but I've been on the lookout for. Looking for a deal. It's not an expensive game either. It's from Devere Games. The name of the game is White Castle. The White Castle.
I have not played this.
Okay. It's a very good game. The moment I played it, it's one of those that I said, oh, I got to buy this game now because it's really good. And it's also a game, the moment I played it, I was like, if I was starting a board game collection, The White Castle should be in it because it scratches so many different itches. The replayability is crazy high because the variable setup happening in it. It's a big game in a small box. The White Castle. Try it out if you haven't. It's a medium to light Euro. I'd even say it's just straight medium for that. So that's my number 7, The White Castle.
All right, great. Number 6. My number 6 is The Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Ooh, we'll have to talk about that later.
I thought we might.
My number 6 is a game about selling telephones around the world. Smartphone Inc. This is a game, it's a Dice Tower recommendation, I believe. And it's so weird looking, but I love the way you set up a turn in this. It's very laid out. This is a game that Melissa really likes because it's like structured. Okay, do these 8 things, do that 5 times, and the game's over. But that step 1, you're manipulating a bit of a puzzle. And the icons that are showing in your puzzle, that is the actions you're using for the rest of that 8 steps or 7 steps in that case. I really like that part. Just doing that puzzle at the beginning. Everyone I teach this game to loves that part. It's so different than a lot of games. But yeah, Smartphone Inc. with a strange theme going around selling telephones. But you're selling them for like $1, so it's not real, clearly, as far as, the amount you're selling it for. You got a nail thing?
I did.
It's eliminated. All right.
Number 5. Do you like magic?
I love magic.
Or know someone who does?
I know someone who does.
Do you like performing magical tricks?
If I knew them.
Do you like having a little booklet with all your magical tricks listed for you?
Oh. I did, but I traded it away.
My number 5 is Tricarion.
Yeah.
In this game, now this is also a dice game, but a lot of Euros use dice these days, even Castles of Burgundy. You have some dice, you're rolling to try to do actions, you're doing worker placement in this game, and you're fighting for these spots. There's just not enough spots for everybody to get what they want, and it's very tight, which is not usually something I like. But the theme of this game really pulls me in. I love magic. Not the game magic. Actual like performing magic.
I like both magics.
I had a magician for my birthday one year. Yeah, I really love magic. So that I think is what really gets me. But there is a big puzzle going on here. You've got to decide whether it's better to do lots of little tricks or one big one. Because the big one, it's going to cost you a lot of ingredients. You're going to have to do a lot of stuff to do it. But the little ones, you could collect all that stuff real easy and just go do a whole bunch of little small tricks. So what do? Somebody blocked you, man. I can't get my glass panes I need.
Yeah. It's been forever since I played that one. That's one of those I would have to learn the entire game again just to play it.
If you've never played before, I recommend it. Comes with an expansion in the box. I recommend not playing with that the first game, but then immediately adding it in once you learn the game. You don't need it for the first game, but add it in after that.
Cool. Tricarion.
I think it has under words like Lords of Illusion or something.
Oh, yeah, subtitle.
There's like a little words underneath Tricarion.
But, I mean, there's not a lot of games called Tricarion, so they'll know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right, my number 5 is a game that stuck with me for a while. It's called Coimbra. This is one that I think I'm the only person that has it that in my game group that seems to come out, but everyone seems to like it. It does have dice, but it's not those kind of dice. I mean, I guess they're rolled, but it's not really a luck game because you're kind of drafting the dice. So, but yeah, it's a game that I really like. I never forget how to teach it to people. Some people see Alma Mater as some sort of sequel to it. It's not. They're unrelated. It just kind of looks like it.
Yeah.
It looks just like it. But it's there just to try to sit on the coattails of Coimbra because Coimbra is really good and Alma Mater is not.
I've never played Alma Mater. I played Coimbra once at a convention. Don't remember anything about it except what it looked like.
Oh, it's a wonderful game. Yeah, Coimbra, it's another one that just goes through step by step by step, which is, something that shows up in a lot of these Euros is go through these steps and do all the steps.
I think I remember 2 guys taught it to us. They had played it a bunch, and then we proceeded to beat them by a lot, and they did not like that.
I don't know where I learned it from. I could have swore BJ was involved in that. Oh, I thought BJ had taught it to us, but I guess I don't remember. I can go back in my history and see it.
Another day, another time.
Another day, another time. Coimbra, my number 5.
All right. Well, my number 4 is a tile laying game. I love tile laying games. And it has different goals every season of the game. This is Isle of Skye.
Not on my list.
It's by one of my favorite designers. If you want to find out who my favorite designers are, there's a list on this channel. You can go watch it.
It's true.
So this game, like I just described, you're laying down tiles and you're going for different goals. The goals are different every game, and they change as you go through. So if you've ever played Cartographers, same idea. It's like an A,
Very
B,
much
C,
so.
D thing going on. And I have this game, and there's also a thing where there's a catch-up mechanism in the game. It's really important. It actually sometimes encourages people to not do their best, so they're not in the front, so they can get more benefits. Kind of neat. Isle of Skye, from chieftain to king.
Yeah. There's a digital version of it? Or
Yes,
yeah, that's
but
right.
I
think
owned
it's
it and never played it.
It's on my phone. That's why. I was like, it's either on BGA or is it just straight up digital?
I think I have this.
I think it's on my phone. All right, my number 4 is Broom Service.
Aw.
I'm the brave witch. I'm the cowardly witch. Once again, I mean, just like in smartphone, that has a unique thing going on. Broom Service has that unique the Brave Cowardly Witch thing. If you know of a game like Broom Service where people's actions are dependent on saying something,
The other people at the table doing it before you are not.
yeah, choosing an action. Let me know of that, because I feel like Broom Service is kind of unique in that case when it shouldn't be. That should be something that people are borrowing from. Yeah, because it's so cool. But yeah, Broom Service is on the lighter side of the Euro track. But yeah, that's definitely a Euro. You're going around, you're claiming different spot area control, I guess is what it is. Because you're taking the towers. You're putting your little...
Pick up and deliver, but not all of them.
That's
control.
Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah. Little mix of a lot of little sprinkles of Euro stuff. Broom Service, great game.
I love Broom Service.
It was mentioned on another list, but I don't remember which one.
It wasn't on my short list because I wasn't sure if it was Euro-y enough, but it would have absolutely made my list if I had considered it.
Yeah.
All right, my number 3, I have a feeling is going to be on your list unless it's in your top 10. It's right over there somewhere. This is like Pride and Prejudice, the board game. Obsession.
Obsession is my number 3.
That's my number 3.
Another
double crossover.
Hey! Wow. 2 of those in this list.
How weird is that?
I know our number 1's not going to cross over, so I think that's it for crossovers. But yeah, Obsession is one I've been recently obsessed over. I don't know why either. It's just a great game that calls back to a time when games look like that. Look like old cardboard, and that's all you needed. You have a nice theme, and yeah, it's not something that I thought I would ever get into until just so many people around me recommended it.
Yeah, and it's on Board Game Arena.
Yeah.
It's in the BGG Top 100.
Yep, moving
right
up.
Now it is. It's very Downton Abbey, upstairs, downstairs, that thing.
Yeah.
Fancy ladies and fancy men.
That's it.
You know, and Elizabethan England or wherever. It's not something that is appealing to me. Just hearing that, like
right?
I never was a Pride and Prejudice boy or any of that. But this game just
it does something right.
It does. There's a crunchy part with your workers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is the thing I want to do, but I don't have that kind of worker right now. I can't do it until I get that worker back. Nice.
Yeah, and teaching it's a pretty easy teach because it's really simple. But yeah, I don't know where the crunchiness comes in. It's a strange anomaly that it exists at all.
Exactly.
Pretty cool.
All right, number 2.
My number 2 is Lost Ruins of Arnak, which is your number 10 or something like that, or 9. It was way up there, but Arnak is a game I don't own.
6 for me.
6, okay.
I don't own it either.
Yeah, I play it on BGA. Joe owns it. I really like the expansion for it, which is not on, I don't think it's on BGA, but it gives everyone character powers or character abilities and stuff like that. That's a really good addition to it. Arnak, you're building a deck. It's slow build of a deck, but that is one of the things you're doing. But you're also moving up this research track. You're also taking on monsters, stuff like that.
You're doing worker placement. You're collecting resources.
It's a tight game. Yeah, every time I play that game, I think I'm not going to ever have enough stuff to do what I want to do. And then somehow it happens.
I never do have enough. I'm always hunting for the thing. And then someone's sitting in the spot I need to go to get a tablet.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a great game. It's one I keep wondering if I should jump into and invest in and get. But I have enough people around me that have it. In fact, the production is not superb. I feel like the board's a little on the thin side. It would probably benefit from something like a neoprene mat situation, but so I'm not eager to get it, but I'm very happy to play it because it is my number 2.
Well, my number 2 is La Granja.
La Granja.
The farm.
Did we switch? Why did my number 2 go first? Oh, okay, because
You just
obsession.
jumped in, yeah.
'Cause obsession. That's
so
fine.
yeah, my number 2 is Lanha. Just the regular old one. I don't need the new fancy doodah thing. I have played that one too, but I'm fine with just the old, crustiest, Euro-iest game that's on my list. This game, you look at it and you're like, that is a Euro, son. And just like you said, there is a process that you go through. It's on like a double player aid that is like, all right, phase 1 has these 5 steps. Phase 2 has these 3 steps. You're literally got like sheep or goats or something. I mean, this is very
olives
Euro-y.
or something.
Olives, yeah. You can grow olives. You can have hogs.
Yeah.
You can turn those hogs into meat.
Yeah. And then there's a board in the middle that does something. It's been forever since I played that one.
Yeah, that one you're knocking people out and you're trying to get points by going to a better spot than where they are. And if you go next to them and you have a higher value, you knock them out, which gives you points. And then just being there gives you points as well. So it's very point salady. It's obviously inspired by Stefan Feld. It's very in that vein of games. And I really like it, and it's my number 2. So should I go on with my number 1 now?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Well, my number 1 used to be in my top 10 of all times, but is no longer there. So that's why I'm able to include it on this list. It is on Board Game Arena, and it is Teot Wakon.
Interesting.
Love that game. It is technically a dice game, but you don't roll them.
Yeah.
They represent your workers in this game. You're going around a rondel back in ancient Mesopotamia somewhere. You're building a pyramid, and you have all these different actions you can do. And as your workers get more powerful, the dice get higher. You get to do more of those actions. And eventually you ascend. You reach level 6, you ascend, and you get a nice big bonus. You're going up 3 different religion tracks. You're keeping track of your dead bodies. You just got a lot going on. This is the same designer of Solkin. If you like that game, you would probably like this one.
Yeah. Keeping up with those cocoa costs is kind of a complicated thing.
Yeah, it is. You got to pay attention to that because things cost cocoa. And if you don't have enough to feed your people, when the eclipse happens, you're in trouble. That's a classic Euro mechanism. Feed those people.
Feeding people, yeah.
So that's my number 1, Teot Wakon.
My number 1, you don't feed anyone.
Uh-oh.
You don't even go down a chart of things.
Oh, no.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's very different than a lot of these. It's Concordia.
Okay.
My number 1.
Great.
Bringing us back to the Mediterranean where the Euros
Trading
originally...
in the Mediterranean, yes.
Yeah. Trading things in the Mediterranean. This is a great game. Still holds up. Still a great one to play. Although I would not recommend playing it. We recently got Venus, which plays up to 6 players. Don't do that. Stick to 4 players. I think that's the way to do it.
It's a card game.
It is. I mean, it wouldn't be much.
It's all about the cards and managing when you pick those cards back up to get those powers back.
And the cards are your points, too. The multipliers for the game.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, wonderful game. Concordia, highly recommend it. It has a wonderful app from Direwolf.
Beautiful Steam app. Yeah.
Yeah. So the same people who brought you Istanbul, as far as apps go, I mean, I think they make some of the best apps.
And this game used to be in the top 10 on BGA. On BGG. I don't know if it still is there, but it is a beloved Euro game.
It's probably in the top 20 if I had to guess, just because things don't fall too quickly. And also, like, what would possibly replace it at this point? Number 20, it looks like. Yeah, number 20.
There you go.
Or something like that. Oh, never mind. 24 overall. Still really good.
That's just today. It'll be somewhere else tomorrow.
Just good. Yeah, number 20 in the strategy strategy section, and number 24 overall. So the people agree with me. It's an 8.1.
Nice.
Concordia number 1. What is your favorite Euro? What is a Euro to you? What makes a Euro? Is that a dead category these days? It might be. It's becoming that way.
I think it harkens back to the days when strategy games came from Germany and Poland.
Yeah.
Americans weren't making those kinds of games. But we've changed now. Things are all blended together.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to live in a certain country to make a certain kind of game or a certain continent. So it's kind of outdated, but we know what we mean.
We know what we mean. And like I said, this might be the last top 10 Euro list to ever happen because, we could be saying best Latin. No. Anyway, until next time, the box is closed.
Bye.